Hi everyone, this is Jane here from Crystal Sparkles Readings. Just here to pop down a little card of the day for us for today. So this is the, as you know, if you've watched my stuff before, it's the black and white tarot that I'm using. This is kind of my go-to deck and one that I use every day. So I'm just going to have a little shuffle and pop down a card for us from this lovely tarot deck. Let's just pop it down and see what we've got. Okay, so we have the Death card. Now, don't freak out, okay? I'm sure lots of you guys work with tarot, so you all kind of know that this is not at all a negative card. If you don't work with tarot, if you haven't worked with tarot, or you've not had readings, don't kind of freak out about the Death card. It doesn't mean actual death. What it's talking about is a time of transformation for you. So it talks about you kind of moving through, almost through your life, and all through our lives we have these different phases of transformation, phases where we grow. Quite often that can mean that we have an ending to deal with, letting go of something that is no longer kind of serving our higher purpose. And, you know, endings are difficult for us sometimes, and we don't, as humans, we don't tend to really enjoy endings that much unless it's something that we're deciding that we're ending. So it's kind of about embracing that and just seeing it as something that's passing out of your life that is no longer needed, and that's going to be making room for some stuff that comes in that is really good for us. So the Death card is a bit, I always think it's a bit like the kind of butterfly. So you have the caterpillar, and the caterpillar goes and kind of hibernates in his little pupa, or his little cocoon, and he spends a little bit of time in there, and while he's in that cocoon he's busy transforming into this absolutely beautiful butterfly, and then he kind of emerges from that and sort of spreads his wings and flies. That's a really good analogy for what the Death card is actually about. It's about that transformation into something beautiful. So as you can see in this particular Death card, in the Faulkner deck, it's a kind of open door, and we're in the dark here at the moment, and what we can see is we're moving through this door. So the door is open for us. There's no closed door. There's no finality. There's no we're done. It's we're moving forward. We're progressing. We're growing. As you can see, if you look through the door, there are other doors to be opened. So it's a card of opportunity. It's a card of saying, if you are willing to allow yourself to transform, there are loads of opportunities out there for you. Okay, so this, in terms of a card for the day, the day's energy is transformative. It's about evolving. So you may be deciding that you're going to let go of something, deciding that you're going to move on, deciding that you're going to move forward, deciding that you want to open new doors, deciding that you want a new challenge. All of those things come in when we've got the Death card. So it's all about transformation and allowing yourself to grow into something that is different and more evolved than where you are right now. So I would never say better, because that kind of devalues where you are right now, and where we are right now is where we are. And if we devalue it, that's not helping us in any way at all. But what we have to do is say that we are where we are, and it's great here, but there's lots more for us. So we're going to choose to transform. We're going to choose to grow. We're going to choose to take on more information and to take on more learning. So it's about not devaluing where you are now, and thinking that you are less than where you are now, because you're not. You just are where you are. You know what you know. And when we look at transformation and moving forward, you know, we're not saying that the caterpillar was rubbish. We're just saying that the butterfly is the next stage of development. It's the next thing that we progress to, and it is beautiful, and you can fly. So it's about that. It's about progression. So in terms of card for today, expect to see progress. Expect to see transformation. Expect to see new opportunities, new adventure, new growth. Okay. So I'm just going to pop down one of these Mystic Shaman cards that I've just started to work with. So as I said yesterday when I used them, I'm learning them at the same time as you. So please bear with me if I have to go refer to the book a little bit, because the symbology and everything on here is very different to the tarot, and the meanings are kind of from a system that I've not worked with before. So it's all new to me too. Let's have a little look and see what we've got. Actually try not to put them all over the place. Okay, so the Hunter. Now you see, when I look at the Hunter, I'm just going to have a bit of a closer look at the card, just see what jumps out at me. Okay, so I'm looking at the Hunter, and the Hunter card to me is showing this kind of strength. Okay, so the imagery is very strong. We've got the stag, we've got the bear, that looks like an eagle as well in there. So these are kind of powerful animals that are being reflected in this card. So to me, when I'm looking at the Hunter, this is someone who is seeing everything, being able to find things, being able to, you know, the eagle kind of spies its prey, doesn't it, and goes down and grabs it really quick. And the bear will be the same. The bear will be, you know, out at night, rummaging around, finding stuff. You know, these days they have bear problems going into bins and things like that in Canada, don't they? So they're out there rummaging around, they're hunting, they're looking for things. So to me, this card is talking about being aware of what's going on around you, being aware of what is there, and being able to see it and being able to find it. So let's see what the actual meaning that is given in the book is, because it's probably likely to be quite different from what I'm seeing in that imagery at the moment. So it says, before the dawn of agriculture, we hunted in the forests to feed our kin. The hunter never takes more than the village needs to survive, often taking only one creature, the good kill. He's a master tracker and knows which path to follow to find success. So that's kind of what we were saying, really. Excellent. You know, this is a person that sees things. They see very clearly. They'll see in the dark. They'll see opportunities to take up on. So the Hunter is all about that. But the invitation part of the meaning for this, so that's what we're looking at, because we've got the card the right way up. So it's the invitation that we're looking for. That is what this card is asking of us. So it says, rely on your own skills to traverse the thick forest you're in to reach your destination. You need to follow the tracks left by spirit to claim your bounty, which is already prepared and being offered to you. Do not follow maps drawn by others. They will not lead to your true. They will not lead you true. Instead, become the map maker, find your own compass, and use all your senses, including your common sense. So, yeah, that's kind of expanding really on what I was saying, is to kind of just allow yourself to follow your path. You know, you're the hunter. You can see clearly. You can see your track. You can kind of find your way. So I was saying about the bear being able to see in the dark and all of that stuff. You can see your way. This also talks about following the signs given to you by spirit, and I think there's a really interesting thing that was said in that meaning about never taking more than you need. So a lot of these cards are talking about the environment. They're very kind of in tune with the earth, and what they're saying is, you know, be mindful of that. And I think, you know, we have to be mindful of our waste, and what we often buy things in packs of 3 or 4, and you know they're on special offer. We'll buy 3 or 4 of them, and actually we're only ever going to eat one, so we end up wasting that. And it's kind of like a bit of a false economy, and we think we're doing ourselves a favour, but really we're not. We just have things in our fridge that are going smelly because we don't actually want to eat 3 of them. But we thought it was cheap, so we did it. So I think that's an area that I certainly could look at. And, you know, of maybe not being wasteful, but also not being wasteful of your energy. So take your energy and focus it on what is good for you. You know, be the hunter that knows the path. Don't be the hunter that's kind of randomly going down loads of different paths. Focus your energy on the path that serves you best. So what your true desire is, what your true needs are, to follow, rather than, oh, I'll go down this way, oh no, that's the wrong way, I'll go down this way. It's a bit about being mindful, about paying attention to things that are working for you and not things that aren't quite so much, because that's a bit of a wasted energy. So, you know, when we're talking about only taking what we need, so we don't have to have loads of waste. Think about wasting your energy as well. Think about wasting your energy on stuff that isn't necessarily working for you. You know, don't pay attention to that. So hopefully that's made a bit of sense. These cards are quite deep and taking a little bit longer to do in the daily cards. Hope you're finding them interesting. I find them really interesting. It's a bit of an adventure for me, kind of going through and picking out and seeing what I'm seeing and feeling what I'm feeling, and kind of trying to unravel that. So forgive me if it all gets a little bit garbled. Hopefully it makes sense. A really, really quick summary for me would be the Death card is showing us opportunity, it's showing us transformation, and the Hunter is kind of saying, follow your path, follow your own path, because you can see it more clearly than anybody else can. You know, and it's very strong. You know, sometimes when we go through these periods of transformation that the Death card talks about, we need this strength. So we need this kind of the strength of the bear or the stag that we can kind of see in that image. We need that strength, and that's the Hunter is there giving us that power to be able to make the transformation. So I will leave that with you for today. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow. Bye for now.